Hello Year 2 and welcome to today's English lesson. So we're going to practice some grammar skills for today. We're going to be adding suffixes to spell longer words. So I'm going to go through these slides and just tell you about some of the suffixes we could add and then what your task is. So what is a suffix? I'm sure you all know, but a suffix is something that we add to the end of a word that changes its meaning. Perhaps you could pause the video here and have a think of some of the different suffixes that you know, and perhaps you could jot them down. So here are some of the suffixes that we might have come across before. So we could be adding es to the end of a word. We might add s to make a word plural instead of singular. We talked before about the comparative, so adding er, and also making the word the superlative, adding est. And our usual ones, pulling, pulled, puller, so ing, ed, or er to change a verb into a noun. So ness is a suffix that turns adjectives, so we all know that they are describing words, into nouns, so a person, a place, or a thing. So this is an example, and I know we've used this in our classroom, but if the word is kind, that's an adjective. Charlie was kind to his friend. If we add ness as a suffix at the end, that becomes a noun. It now becomes kindness. Charlie showed kindness to his friend. So adding ness at the end of a word changes it from an adjective into a noun. So have a go now at these. So pause the video here and maybe on a piece of paper if you've got some at home, maybe you've got a whiteboard at home, have a go at adding ness onto the ends of these words. And then if you want to challenge yourself more, you could put them into a sentence. Let's have a look at another suffix now. So the suffix ment can be added to verbs and adjectives to make a noun. For example, enjoy becomes enjoyment, appoint becomes appointment. And sometimes adding the suffix ment changes the spelling of the root word. So let me just move that box out of the bottom of the screen. So the word argue is a verb, isn't it? So if somebody argues with somebody else, that turns into an argument when we add ment on the end. So what has changed here? Well, we've dropped the E and added the suffix. And what's the rule when a root word ends in a Y? That's right, we change the Y to an I and add the suffix. Some of you will come across these rules before, some of them they will be new to you, and that is okay. Just have a go. Anything you get stuck with, I can help you with when you're back in school tomorrow, so please don't worry. Oh, it's not letting me go on the next slide. There we go, let's try again. So on your piece of paper, see if you can turn these adjectives, add ment to the adjectives, and use them in a sentence. So we have achieve, what will that become? That's right, achievement, replace, replacement, and amazement. Okay, have a go at those words. We can also add the suffix full. Now you'll notice that full only has one L at the end of this. Now I'd always tell you when you're spelling the word full, like full of joy, it would have two L's. The ul sound at the end of a word often has two L's, but when we add this suffix, it just has the one. Another one of our crazy rules. So full can be added to words to make adjectives. So think of this suffix as meaning full of. For example, what do we call something that is full of beauty? We call it beautiful. Beautiful. Now there is a spelling change in the word beautiful. The root word is up here, beauty, it ends in a Y. So the rule, when we add a suffix to a word that ends in a Y, we change the Y to an I, then add our suffix, beautiful. And this is a year 2 word that we should all be able to spell by the end of the year. So if you know you can't spell beautiful at the moment, then make sure you practice it today. So have a go now, add into your list, I want you to change these words into bountiful, resentful, and hopeful, please. Remember, if it has a Y and has more than one syllable, we change the Y to an I. Less. Less can be added to words to make adjectives. And this suffix tells us what the subject does not have. So it's missing something. This is probably, we've used this quite a lot as well. So if our root word was hope, for example, Lucy showed hope during a hard time, we might say hopeless. When Charlotte lost her new shoes, she felt hopeless. That means that she doesn't have any hope. She's given up all hope. So it changes the word completely. Now, add to your list. You might want to pause the video here whilst you do it. We want the words penniless, countless, and faultless. And tomorrow we will be able to go through these words together when you bring your packs back. Just write them on the back of one of the sheets that you have. That is absolutely fine if you don't have a spare piece of paper. ly, we have used this one tons and tons and tons of times because it makes an adverb, doesn't it? It tells us how or how often something is done. So Lanty fell over and hurt her knee badly. Trevor delivers our milk weekly, and Matthew skipped through the playground merrily. I'm sure you're all shouting. I know from my read writing group that you've probably spotted a homophone there. So 2 words that are spelled differently but have the same meaning. Okay, good job. So let's change the Y to an I so we can add the ly suffix here. So happily, I want you to write the word quickly, and the next word is suddenly. So here is your task. In your pack, you have got some cards that have got words on, and they've got the suffixes on the end as well. Okay, so business, smoothness, amazement, basement, disgraceful, and colourful. These are just a couple. I think you've got 9 on your sheet. On the next sheet in your pack, you've actually got some definitions. Okay, so meanings of these words. Now, the only way that we're going to get better at adding suffixes to words is just by practicing seeing them, spotting them when we're reading, and learning new meanings of words. So that's why I've given you this task today. So you might need a grown-up to help you, or a brother or a sister, because normally you would have help from a partner in class, and then myself. But I want you to try and match up the word card that you can see on the screen now with its meaning or its definition. And you might want to stick them on a different piece of paper, or you might want to number, if you don't want to cut them out, you might number business as number 1, and then on the second page write number 1 for the definition. So then when I see that you've got 1 and 1, you've put those together. Okay, so have a go at that, bring it back to school tomorrow, and we will have a look together. Have fun.